Okay, what's up, people? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna start something new here on the channel. I'm gonna see if I can't get a little mini series going called. Probably gonna call this something like "School is Bullshit." And well, I'm gonna be talking about how school is bullshit. Uh, there's I can think of a handful of stories that I can tell about my life growing up in school and all the times the system or teachers specifically or just school in general. Things about school just dicked me over. So I think one of the more, I think a fitting, interesting place to start off is the one time in school that I got in a lot of trouble. Now, like I got in trouble before, right? But but this is like real big doo doo. Like there's a point in time where you get in you get in trouble and then it's just like you're just like the tension or whatever, and your teacher that busted you is disappointed in you, and then that happens, a few days pass and then it's like it never happened. No. See, this was different. This was the whole school was disappointed in me. The principal was disappointed in me. The teachers I had before were disappointed in me. Hell, even the school nurse was upset with me. Yeah, it was like it was that bad, and it was only this is the only time it ever happened too, and it really was bullshit. So, story begins fifth grade. Oh, and I have some other stories about fifth grade, but this is where we're gonna start. So fifth grade, I had a teacher, Miss Schuster. And she also had an assistant teacher for the latter half of the year, Miss Friedman, or as we took to calling her, Miss Fat Fried Chicken. Because, for fifth graders, we are horrible pieces of shit. And so, one day, there was a kid in my class I was sitting next to. His name was Fernando Cortez. I'm a very petty person. I remember everyone who was even remotely slighted me throughout my life. So, Fernando Cortez. So he's he's just annoying me, right? So he's like rocking back in his chair, saying my name over and over and over again, like Brandon, 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 Brandon. So I'm doing my best to ignore him as best I can, but I only have so much patience. Like I have the patience to beat Spyro the Dragon without a memory card. I have the patience to do a lot of things, but this I didn't have the patience for. So he's rocking back and forth, saying my name, Brandon, Brandon, and eventually I just can't take it anymore. And so I don't yell it, but I say it pretty loudly, shut up. Pretty decent, enough to make the entire room fall silent. But so this caught Fernando off guard. As I mentioned before, he's rocking back and forth in his chair, and it makes him jump a little bit on one of his rocks backs or forwards. I can't remember exactly. And he just falls out of his chair, right? Falls out of his chair, flat on the ground. And the assistant teacher, Miss Fat Fried Chicken, she goes ahead and she stops whatever she's doing on the projector. Oh god, I miss those things. The freaking light projector with the little watercolor washable markers. Oh, those were the days. I miss those days. But anyway, Miss Fat Fried Chicken, she goes ahead and is like, what happened? Immediately on the offensive. And little shit-faced Fernando's like, Brandon pushed me up my chair. And I'm like, no, I fucking didn't. You fell on your own. But because, I'm the one that yelled, shut up. And he fell out, and followed by him immediately falling out of his chair. Of course, I'm no one believes my ass, right? And so, I'm in trouble now. Nothing new. I've been in trouble before. And I'm thinking, it's no big deal, whatever, right? And so she pulls me off to the side. She makes me go move my whole desk at the corner. Oh, that's a wonderful self-esteem builder. Kid makes a mistake or does anything wrong, make them pick up their desk, because these things aren't so big or heavy, and have them move all the way to the corner or somewhere off by themselves. Because back in this time, So we all, like, all our desks were moved into groups of 4 and 5 people. And so I had to take my desk out of the group and then move it by myself. And then I had to sit there for the rest of the day. And then our actual teacher, Miss Schuster, comes in, and Miss Fat Fried Chicken tells her what happened. So, and then now I'm in detention. Day goes through. I'm in detention. This happened in the second half after lunch and recess. So, day's over, and I'm in detention. So, well, it's not so much detention. More like Miss Schuster says, I'm not leaving until I write a little essay. Like, I have to write a paragraph about what I did wrong. And so me, being the honest person I am, knowing that I didn't do anything wrong, I know I didn't, I go ahead and I write, I did nothing wrong. I didn't do anything, or something like that. So I write that down, leave it there on the desk, and I walk out that door. Oh, that was the wrong thing to do. So the next day, I come in, because I always come into school early. I like to be the first one there. So I walk into the classroom. I go to sit down. Miss Schuster comes in, and she is pissed. She walks in, and I will never forget this. She just practically screaming, "How dare you? How dare you?" I'm like, what the hell? What the fuck's going on? What did I do? And she just storms over. She has the piece of paper that I wrote. She slams it down in my desk, and she's like, "How dare you do that? You didn't do anything." And I'm like, I didn't. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't push him out of his chair. But of course, when you're a kid and you're telling the truth, no adults give a fuck. They really don't. They always have is whatever they see, right? They go off of what they see is what they see is true. And even if they didn't see what happens, whoever says what happens first, not even whoever says what happens first, whatever sounds the worst is what they believe to be true, right? So they just automatically believe that I'm the one that pushed him out of his chair. I'm the bad kid. So she's just going off of me. How dare you? And then so she sends me down to principal's office, Miss Salcedo's office. And I have spent a lot of time with Miss Salcedo, our principal, before this incident. I was really cool with her. But going into her office, because apparently after I left yesterday before, they had all these teachers just had a meeting, and are just like, this kid Brandon, he's a piece of shit. We're gonna make him fucking miserable. We're gonna get him. How dare he write he didn't do anything? How dare he plead innocent? This isn't a court. This is a kangaroo court. We say who's guilty or not. So I go down to Miss Salcedo's office. I get down to the main office. I'm sitting there waiting for it to be called in, and this is always the worst feeling. If any of you ever been there, you're sitting in the main office waiting to be called into the principal's office. And so Miss Salcedo, she opens her door and she's like, "Brandon, get in here." I'm like, oh wow. She said get in here, not come on in. That's not a good sign. I walk in, I sit down, and her too, immediately, as soon as I sit down, she closes the door, she turns around, "How dare you?" I'm like, how dare I? How dare you? I didn't say that, I'm not dumb. I knew I was already in some pretty deep shit, but I didn't want to say anything else. And she gives me the earful. I wasn't really listening, because when you're a kid and you didn't do anything wrong and you're just being blamed for bullshit, what are you supposed to do? It's bullshit. I don't know what you're supposed to do. So I just sat there, took it. I didn't say anything back. And then it's just like, "We're going to have to tell your parents about this." I'm like, ugh. Now my mom's going to think I did something wrong, because I know my mom's not going to believe me. I mean, even to this day, my mom just automatically assumes that I'm the one that did stuff, even though I didn't. It doesn't matter. Oh boy. And so she calls my parents, and then gives me the earful for a good 5-7 minutes. Then "Oh, go and call your parents," and sends me back to my classroom. So I get back to my classroom, and then Miss Schuster once again says, "I can't believe you would do something like that." I'm like, I can't believe I would do something like that either. It's almost as though I didn't do it. So I had detention, like legit detention. Like, and back then, detention wasn't you stay after school. Detention was you don't get to have recess. Detention was, no. It was central. I had detentions, so I had to stay there for recess. And then afterwards, I had to serve 2 central detentions. And the difference between regular detention and central detention is regular detention. You sit in your classroom with your teacher during recess while they grade papers, and you have to, like sometimes they make you help out with the classroom, or other times they just make you stare out the window and watch the other kids have fun. But the central detention is you get sent up to the art room with the art teacher, Mr. Kalzinski. And then he sits there and he just yells at you guys for like 20 minutes for the recess period. And then the lunch period comes around, and as part of central detention, you have to be the last person in line to get lunch. Because, okay, this seems more of a cruel punishment than a reasonable one. I mean, I guess at the worst case scenario, all the good stuff runs out and you have to, get the sloppy seconds. So I get to central detentions following this incident. The 2 I had to serve were pretty rough because Mr. Kalzinski, he doesn't know why you're there. He just knows you're there. So he generally rants on, yells at you, ranting on about oh, you should be ashamed of yourself. How could you do blank thing, insert X thing right here, right? Just being non-descriptive. But with me, apparently everyone told him what I did, so he goes ahead and singles me out in the ranting. So now I'm on blast in front of all these other kids who didn't, and it's just like, damn, I feel like the worst I feel like the child molester in prison right now. And then every other teacher apparently knew this too, because my older teachers, like my first grade teacher, Miss Reefer, disappointed me. Second grade teacher, Miss Reeves, disappointed me. Third grade teacher, Miss Wines, I didn't really give a shit about her. I hated her ass, but still probably disappointed with me. Then again, I couldn't tell. She was always disappointing me to begin with. Miss Reeves, my second and fourth grade teacher, still disappointed in me. And then Miss Fat Fried Chicken also tried to give me like the stick. Like my desk was not moved back into the group for like a good week. Like this entire school was against me, all because I had the audacity to go ahead and say it wasn't me. Oh boy. Well, that's the first of these little stories I have. I think the next story I can tell is the day I got in trouble in ROTC by a kid dressing up in a dress and during our rifle team setup. Yeah, that happened. So I'll see you guys next time.